What's up guys? In this video I'm going over the Eachine Nano Plus Vtx. This is a relatively new Vtx that Eachine has released, so let's open it up and see what we have inside. So it takes an MMCX antenna. We have just a standard antenna included, plus they give you an SMA 2 MMCX at a 90-degree angle, so that's nice. The 90-degree angle ones I think work best for these types of deep VTXs, so it's nice that they include one. We have the power cable, a bunch of stickers, manual, and the VTX. This VTX has a 30 by 30 mounting pattern, has a metal cover on it, feels pretty solid, feels just like a Rush Tank Ultimate. It weighs 7 grams. That's without the antenna or the wire. It's capable of pit mode, 25 milliwatts, 200 milliwatts, 400 milliwatts, and 800 milliwatts. So on the bottom, you have 2 buttons, and these control the band and power, and then this one controls the channel. And you also have a little set of LEDs right in here, and these are red, blue, and green, and those are going to help you select the band power and channel that you want to use. You can use the IRC tramp protocol on this VTX so that you can configure all those settings in Betaflight or in the OSD in your goggles. Over on this side we have where the plug goes, and in addition to having the plug, they also give you little tiny pads right here where you can actually just solder on a wire in case you didn't want to use the plug. I don't know why you wouldn't want to use the plug, but these are there in case you want to solder to it. And on the back side, they actually list what each pad is for. That's on the front right here, but if something were to happen to this sticker, you wouldn't have any labeling to what these pads are, so you have it on the other side. This yellow wire is going to go to the flight controller on the video input pin. This one right here and this one right underneath it is ground and 5 volts. You can use this to power your camera. I'm not going to use these two. This RX wire right here is going to connect to the TX pad on our flight controller, and that's going to give us control over the settings in Betaflight. And then right here is the power for the VTX. So you have ground, and then you have the input, which is red, and that's 6 to 36 volts. So you can pretty much hook this up to any battery pad. You won't be able to hook it up to a 5-volt pad, obviously. You want it within 6 to 36 volts, so you'd probably be able to find a 9-volt pad and just hook it up to that. So I'm gonna go get this hooked up in my drone, and we'll do a quick little setup in Betaflight, and then we'll take it out and test it. So this is the VTX that was on this drone before, and I actually don't have to solder on a new plug. So if you're using a Rush Tank, you can actually just unplug this and you should be able to plug it right into this VTX and you'll be good. So if you have a Rush Tank already hooked up, you don't even have to do any soldering, you can just plug it right in there. So that's pretty cool. The only thing I'm gonna have to change in Betaflight is this has Smart Audio 2.0, whereas this is running IRC tramp. So I'm just gonna have to change the VTX protocol. All right, so we have Betaflight launched. I'm gonna plug in my drone. And first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change this. So as you can see here, I have my receiver set up on UART2, and then I have the VTX set up on UART3. So the Rush Tank that I originally had on this drone was running TBS Smart Audio. This VTX uses tramp, so we're going to select IRC tramp and then hit save reboot. Now what we can do is go under the video transmitter tab, and we're going to load our Vtx table from Clipboard. So what we're going to do is go to this site on GitHub, and this has all the Vtx tables for IRC tramp, Smart Audio 2.0, 1.0, RTC, I'm not really sure what that is. But for this VTX, we're using IRC tramp, USA. Click this, it'll bring you to this page. And then basically just select everything, copy. We'll go back to Betaflight and just hit load from Clipboard, and it should just populate all these numbers. Now what we're gonna do is, this VTX has pit mode 25, 200, 400, and 800. So I'm gonna change these to match those values. I'm gonna just change this 100 to 200, same with this one. We'll change this to 4. We'll change this to 8. And since we don't have a 5th power level, I'm gonna just click this arrow and bring it down to 4. There we go. Hit save. Obviously the VTX isn't on right now, so it's not going to recognize it right here, but as soon as I plug a battery in, it should recognize it, and it should show device ready, yes, and then we can configure the settings on here. So I'm going to disconnect my drone. I'm going to plug a battery in. And now we'll reconnect the drone to Betaflight. And when we go to the video transmitter tab, it says device ready, yes. So that tells you that it's connected, and you can now configure all the settings right through here or on your goggles. So I'm gonna set this to race band 3, and I'm gonna set the power to 25. All right, so this is pretty much all set. Just make sure you save all your settings, and now I'm gonna just take it out for a test. So, final thoughts on the Eachine Nano VTX. For some reason, I was getting some weird static with 800 milliwatts, and I actually had it cut out completely at some points. I crashed a couple times, and the VTX still works fine. Make sure though that when you do have it on 800 milliwatts, you don't let it sit for too long, because the VTX does get hot. As long as you're flying, the air will cool it down and will keep it from overheating. I personally love the 30x30 metal VTXs like this. Like I said, the Rush Tank Ultimate is my go-to, and I think that this is going to be a great option for if this ever fails. It has the same plug, it has the same output power, it's the same size, and it's cheaper than the Rush Tank, so it makes for a great backup for this drone. If this video helped you out, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and if I missed anything or if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I respond to as many comments as I can.